Hey guys, TommyBryson here, and first of all, I want to give you guys a fun fact, but yeah, you're in the right place. I'm TommyBryson, and I'm going to tell you about 5 books that are actually going to help you with money. But for context here, every single year in America, they publish around 600,000 books to around 1 million books. Every single year right here in America. But in reality, the average person after high school and college never really reads again. And obviously, books are important. It helps with your vocabulary and also your cognitive skills. But most importantly though, successful people like Warren Buffett and Bill Gates and mostly a lot of people out there that are very successful, they always recommend, hey, read. And the way I see it is kind of like, hey, you have like this mental cabinet, right, in your head. And whenever you actually go ahead and read something, you get to add more information into your brain to know exactly how to handle a problem or how to actually use those skills to make you more money. In my case, because basically I read a lot of financial books. So in this video right here, I'll tell you about those 5 books that helped me the most when it came to making more money and also learn about money. Because if you don't know how money works, what the rules actually are, doesn't matter how much money you make, you'll probably waste it and it'll basically just go away. Just like it happens every single year with lottery ticket winners, okay? Now, if you guys are new here, I post videos on YouTube, so basically go ahead and basically subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you're notified, and top out also destroy the like button. And welcome to the long-term team if you just found the channel. Now, the very first book, guys, is going to be my favorite. Honestly, my favorite is actually called The Richest Man in Babylon. Now, this book tells you about building wealth, about getting rid of debt, about managing your money, and most importantly, about how to live below your means while also enjoying your money, okay? Because not like, hey, I gotta act super broke in order to build wealth, in order to actually be rich. Because in reality, that kind of sucks because the average millionaire is around 52 years old. So if you're 20, are you really gonna act broke and not enjoy your life for the next 30 years? The answer is probably not. Now, however, this book right here has a very specific technique when it comes to teaching. And that technique is called storytelling. So there's a lot of stories in order to illustrate a point. Now, if you just like straight facts and numbers and data, this is probably not going to be the book for you. And by the way, studies show that basically just knowing like random facts and numbers and data, you're very, very unlikely to actually remember anything. You're not going to remember nothing, okay? So that's why in history, parents always use stories to help illustrate a point for their kids. Like, hey, you have Red Riding Hood. Don't look at strangers or whatever it is, right? You also have, for example, the Little Three Pigs or whatever. Hey, build things and hard work and determination is actually going to pay off. You know, stories help us, illustrates things a lot faster. And on top of that, it helps you remember things. So that's my way of learning. But if you don't like that, you want numbers and facts, this is not the book for you. Although it is my favorite book ever. Now, book number 2 is called Stop Acting Rich and Start Living Like a Real Millionaire. Now, this book was written by Thomas. And by the way, unfortunately, Thomas passed away during a car accident. Now, this book does have a lot of data, a lot of facts, and also a lot of examples. So if you like that stuff, it's going to be for you. Now, this book is going to teach you one thing. It's going to expose those people that look like they're rich, act like they're rich, but in reality are actually broke. And it's gonna tell you, for example, who the real millionaires actually are in America. You know, one fun fact I was surprised by was basically, hey, so you're telling me that the average millionaire doesn't buy a home that's over $200,000, $300,000, and on top of that, you're telling me they drive used cars and they don't carry any crazy debts, and all they really do is they have a normal 9-to-5 job. How crazy is that? They don't have gold chains, 3 wives, and Ferraris? No, Tommy, usually they don't have that. And that was the crazy, amazing thing about this book. It tells you, hey, you are able to become the average millionaire while still enjoying your life. You don't need this fancy business. You don't need this fancy job. The average millionaire doesn't ever usually make over $100,000 a year. And that gave me a lot of confidence. So this book right here is awesome and I highly recommend it. If you like facts, numbers, and examples, this book right here is for you. And by the way, it's not like a boring, dull book. Yeah, he uses like examples to kind of spice things up. So don't worry, you won't be bored. Now, book number 3, guys, is called Influence: The Psychology of Persuasion. Now, this is actually interesting because the author meant to have this book actually be for people, so they basically don't get finessed by salespeople. But then salespeople went ahead and read this book and learned how to finesse people even more. Meaning, hey, psychologists wrote this book, or the guy wrote this book to actually help you not to get, like sell to all the time. Like, hey, we're going to use this tactic to actually close a sale. However, the sale individuals out there read the book and it actually helped them even more. And all of a sudden, this book that was not meant for business became one of the best books when it actually comes to sales. Now, what does this book actually teach you? It teaches you exactly what makes you think as a person using research and data, okay? No, like, oh my gosh, this is all an opinion. No, it's all research and data. And by the way, us as human beings, we have a lot of, for example, recorded programming to actually have a certain, how do I say this? We have like recording programming to have a certain reaction towards certain things, okay? So for example, one tactic is called the contrast principle. That's the idea that if you walk into my store, what product should I sell you first? Should it be the expensive product first, or should it be the cheap product first? The answer is I would probably try to sell you the expensive product first. And then I will try to sell you, for example, a less expensive product. Why? It's like walking into the Apple store. What do they try to sell you? An iPhone or a laptop. And they say, well, if you want this iPhone, it's $1,000. You're like, okay, fine. And they say, well, if you want this screensaver, it's $30. The case is $50. The charger is $50. You're like, oh, no big deal, because I'm paying $1,000, so this right here doesn't really matter. That's called the contrast principle. Selling something that's actually very expensive to make other things that are expensive seem not expensive, because basically it's cheaper than that very expensive item. And by the way, paying $30 for a screen protector is stupid. Go to Amazon, buy it there. Paying $50 for a case is stupid. Go to Amazon and buy it there, okay? That's that. But yeah, there are a lot of information right here in this book to actually help you when it comes to understanding sales. And if you are interested in sales, read it. If you're not, but you don't want to get sold to all the time and you want to understand what they're actually doing, read it. I love this book. Now, tip. This is a great book when paired with another book called Breakthrough Advertising. Read it. It is a classic. Now, moving on. Book number 4, guys, is going to be The Total Money Makeover, a proven plan for financial fitness. And by the way, this book was actually written by Dave Ramsey, which is not the image and picture of fitness per se, okay? Just joking, obviously. But this book is very simplistic, and it's a story about basically Dave Ramsey going from broke to actually being a millionaire, but just using, for example, Bible principles when it comes to managing money. So it's kind of like a book for people, description by the author, people that are tired and sick and tired of being sick and tired. So it's a book that tells you about, hey, paying off your debt is very important. Building up wealth is very important. Buying a home you can actually afford is very important. It's a very simple book to get the average American out of debt and into actually building wealth and becoming retired and actually living a very fulfilling life. Now, if I'm being honest, guys, it's a book with very simple principles, but that takes a very long time to actually complete, because guess what? It is very hard to become not the average American in America, okay? And by the way, he calls these steps like the 7 baby steps, and although they sound like baby steps, they take years sometimes to actually accomplish. So you gotta be ready to actually put everything into action. But one thing I will say about this book is that it is simple, it is entertaining, and it's actually very easy to actually comprehend and understand. And I highly recommend it. By far, one of the best books when it came to actually helping me with money. But I do still recommend The Richest Man in Babylon over this one. I'll read that one first and then this one second, because this book is great, but the other book is going to help you also a lot more, in my opinion. Now, book 5, guys, is going to be One Up on Wall Street by Peter Lynch. Now, if you ever wanted to be mentored or to actually learn from a millionaire or a 10 millionaire, or what do you call those people that actually have like more than $10 million, like a decimillionaire? a decimillionaire, I don't know what you call it, okay? But this guy's worth over $200 million, guys, and he makes a lot of money. And obviously, he made that bulk of that money by being an investor and actually buying investments like stocks and then selling them for a profit. Now, the cool thing is that you would think that it's that kind of like, oh my gosh, this book is going to be very complex, very hard to understand, very super descriptive and factual and boring, but no. This book does not contain no crazy numbers whatsoever. It's more just like storytelling through his experience, which helps you understand very complex topics with very simple examples. And that is the true mastery of a teacher. Someone that can do that knows what they're actually talking about. So if you want to learn about stocks and you want to get started and you want to learn the basics of what it's all about, I highly, highly, highly recommend this book right here called One Up on Wall Street by Peter Lynch. By the way, for context here, if you had invested $10,000 with Peter Lynch when he was actually doing the whole Magellan Fund over at Fidelity, you would have made somewhere like around, I think, if I remember correctly, it was around like $200,000. So $10,000 to $200,000 in around 10 years. That is a crazy, crazy return. But he could have done that for you because the guy knows what he's talking about. And by the way, Warren Buffett, the king of all investing, recommends this book very highly also. All right, so those right there are my 5 favorite books when it comes to actually learning something about money. It's not just about like, hey, all these stories are great. No, these books right here will teach you something about money, will teach you something about careers, and that's what I love about these books. Now, before I go, guys, if you made it all the way to the video, well, like and comment down below also. But as a bonus, I will give you 3 honorable mentions. So the first honorable mention is called The Little Book About Common Sense Investing by John C. Bogle. This book was actually published and written by the original creator of the first index fund over at Vanguard. So it's a book about investing, the right way to invest without having to worry, for example, about picking stocks and trying to like have an active job at it. It teaches you exactly how to build wealth, but automatically without having to worry about it, okay? Passively. Second book is called The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. This book right here tells you exactly how to build a business, how to automate it, so that way you're able to enjoy life a lot more, and how to also negotiate a normal traditional job to actually becoming a remote job to actually give you the freedom to actually go ahead and travel wherever you want to. By the way, by far one of my favorite books in reality. It taught me a lot about just enjoying life and not just trying to, for example, hey, I gotta work more and work more and work more. Now, book number 3, honorable mention here, is called I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi. It's a very simple book, very long though, but very fun and entertaining, I will say that. And it tells you exactly how to build wealth, how to invest, how to save money on debt, how to negotiate your salary at your job. It tells you so much things in this book that's actually amazing. So shout out to Ramit Sethi on this one. But guys, overall, these right here are the honorable mentions and also the top 5 books that teach you about money. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. If I missed anything, comment down below, let me know. If you have suggestions, well, comment down below, let me know. I'm always looking forward to reading another book because, again, it's just adding more files to my brain to actually help me when it comes to certain subjects out there. But I will say, be very, very careful with paralyzation by doing nothing. I think that's what it's called. And the idea is that all you do is read, and don't take action. No, like read these books, yes, but take action on them to actually start building wealth as fast as possible. That's the whole point, okay? And by the way, guys, if you guys want to get some of these books for free, I have a link down below to Audible. And when you sign up to Audible, you actually get 2 free books. And if you cancel, you still get to keep those books. And by the way, more than often, I'm not actually reading physical books like those ones out there. I'm actually just listening to books while I'm in the gym or going to the gym or just doing like normal stupid stuff all day, okay? So listening to me works a lot better. So if you like listening, Audible is going to be a great service for you. Link down below. I'll see you guys tomorrow. As always, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified. On top, if you want to text me or DM me, well, DM me on Instagram at TommyBryson. Or if you want to call me, a link is down below. Schedule a call with me for free. On top, if you want to watch more content like this, here is more videos here and more of my channels right here. Subscribe to all of them. See you guys tomorrow. And as always, peace.